Hello, hello. John Tierney here, and I'm in County Tipperary, St. Mark's Famine Graveyard. Danny O'Dwyer made this. I'm heading home, and I was going to go down by Clonmel, and then I realised I was going to be passing Cooper's Lot here in Cashel, so I came in. I came in here over the years a few times, but this is my first time in here in a few years. Is that new? The big timber crucifix. This penal cross was erected in honour of Martin O'Dwyer, Bob, author, folklorist, preserver and curator of our local national heritage. Commemorative wall in this graveyard is commissioned on Martin's initiative, recording the names who have been anonymously buried here. So, in tracing the anonymous dead, using an archaeological perspective, I'm following in the footsteps of other people. Stations of the Cross, we've seen that elsewhere, but this I don't think I've seen elsewhere. Looks to me like the historians up here in Cashel have traced the names of the people buried here. They're starting 26th of March 1848, Michael Prendergast, aged 3.5. So that's, and then 1, 2, that's 2 in one day, 2 in a day, 1. So the 11th of April has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a day. 6 in a day is a lot. So they've carved all the names. Is that carved? Yeah, in limestone. And 27th of March, 49. That was 48. So we're a year later. So 1, 2, so 4 panels are a year of burials here. God's Angels, that plaque says, what's that relate to? The famine dead. Ages, everything from a week there to 35 years of age. 40 is the oldest, there's a 70 there. Quirks, Maras, Duggans, Morrisseys, Whites, Bradleys, Fitzgeralds, Neils, Hogans, Kennedys, Heaney, Ryan, Flood, Sexton. So we're here now, February 1850. There's a Tierney, my own surname. February 1850. February is Jammers, and January. Oh my goodness, January's a bad one. That's January 1850 there, the first. 4 in one day. A Rourke, a child, Rourke aged 8. Okay, there's multiples each day in January, so this is my first time seeing this kind of a record. January, 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 January. So that winter of 1850 up here, it's Jammers. A 1,000 names. That's what this sign here says. Anarcha Miladine o Cashel Moon. A day get Jacknam up to the house of the poor, the Ling got the Vor. In Cashel Union. So, I don't know, is this an extension? Some kind of modern laser etched stations of the cross. And then we walk down, I think it's Cooper's Lot Townland. So Cashel is back over there. Whereas now, golden mullein on the wall there, that lovely Irish mullein. Okay, there's gravestones there. You can see the grass is cut short. Elizabeth Brown, 1902, 1932. So there's a path here. There's grave hollows in the side. Good solid grave hollows there in that side. Another one down. Yeah, okay. There's a whole line of them here. And there. And there. There. And there. So there's grave hollows here, all against the wall. I'm not sure, are they single? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of, it's 1 foot wide, barely 2 feet long. And all down along here. Cross, decorative, no names. So this is just around the edge. I should be looking at the centre as well. You know, when I called in here, years ago, I just wasn't seeing the features. Whereas now the whole thing is undulating. I think it's potentially a series of square pit graves. There. See how big and wide that is? That's more akin to what we were seeing over in Kilfinnan in the Fever graves. I don't know what he is. I want to say a lime tree, but it doesn't have. I thought they were fruiting now. Maybe. It's a pollard, no, it's a coppiced deciduous tree of some form. He's there a long time. Look how wide he is. He's 2 meters across. Coppice stool. And then here, the whole thing. So they haven't capped it off. They haven't filled it. They've left all the graves fully visible. I was actually pessimistic coming in here thinking we wouldn't spot much. But there now, for instance, as I look at it, I know it's not as good on the video, but the whole thing, you can actually see the shape of the outline of the graves. I'm not sure how to demonstrate that better. See all those bumps and hollows? So it's long but narrow. I don't know, it's barely 30 meters across. Look at that now. I mean, that's one of the better square graves that we've seen. There. So what's he measure? 1, 2.5. 1, 2. So 2 meters wide, 2.5 meters long. See it? So very strong remains here. Very strong. You can see they're cutting the grass and they're respecting the shape of the ground, the surface of the ground. Even here now on this side, it's all regular undulations as well. Potentially a couple of paths. So, this is very interesting. I think what we're seeing are these common graves rather than trench graves, linear trench graves. Commemoration, statue of Our Lady, smallest angel in heaven. Oh, Bob, maybe Bob is a nickname for that branch of the Dwyers. I'm not sure. There's a small iron cross there. Could that be a grave marker? Could that be an original grave marker? This is a recent wooden cross. But that could be a little grave marker, couldn't it? So we need to find out who the local historian is here. Lads, this is much better than I thought. No, this is very exciting. Timothy O'Brien, age 81, 1939. Wrecked by his grandchildren. Graves. We're back up the top side now. There's a path here and a path there. A path there and a path here. And these crosses are concrete. Can't see any names on them. Hey. No, they're all made from the same form. Alright, so where are we? St. Mark's Famine Cemetery. They've kept the grass short, but they've also kept the shape of the graveyard floor, which I think is a fantastic achievement. They haven't been tempted to fill all these deep graves. So there's graves up and down the place. There's singles and then there's multiples. And every square foot of this is either a grave or a small space between it, a bank between it. And then they have 1,000 names up there. And like we saw, a lot of them were January, February 1850. And then this recent timber cross, very primitive. And that's what we see from headstones from that period or from older. Yeah. So the Dwyers, I think Bob is a nickname to identify that branch of the Dwyers. INRI. Crucified Christ. Okay, I'm going to go down now and have a look at call into the graveyard in at the back of the workhouse on my way home inside in Clonmel and see what it's like compared to this. Very interesting. Okay, Slanish.